All right, I'm live already. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, um, good night. Whatever time zone it is at your end. It's beautiful to have you right on the call this evening. Yes. How are you doing today? This is Zero to I Confident with Adebayo Kareem. And I'm excited because it's the last day of the 20 days. It's been a beautiful journey, and then I I really, you know, I have a lot to say about the whole thing, but let me just skip the emotion and all of those things. But really, it's been a beautiful journey. Last month, I started out by saying I want to go into a 20 days um live series on Facebook. And then from there, I transitioned to YouTube because I found out that, you know, things are possible with Facebook, but there are things that are more possible with Facebook. From there, I moved to other things that, I could, do better and all. And all through the 20 days, I learned so much. And when I say I learned so much, it is not just a generic statement. It is actually something that determines the the next phase of my growth personally and then in my career. All right. So I showed up from day one, and then this is day 20. The thing is, it wasn't as easy as people, were looking at it from the front end. At the back end, there are days that I struggled, right? There are days that I don't just want to show up. That there are days that I'm just like, who sent me to do this? But you know, I will learn throughout the 20 days that it really takes firm decision to actually go through something and then sticking with the plan that you have. All right. So I've thought about how to build websites with AI. I thought about how to deploy your website, your live URL, how to connect me, how to add pictures to your website, how to know if an average person should watch my videos on all of these topics that I've just said, they should not have problem around building with AI. All right. So I took my time to, teach you how to write, how to train AI to write in your brand tone, on your personal tone, right? Let me just go through the topics again. All right. But if you have been following this the last 1 month, how's it been for you? What have you learned so far? I got quite some feedback from a couple of persons, right? And I really am excited seeing all of those comments from people. I met someone at an event a few days ago before this last part, and then she said, "I've been following you back to back. Thank you for what you're doing." And that's the person talking, right? She said she has been able to build website, watching my video and all of this. And a part of me like, okay, we're getting started, right? And that's just a fact, right? That's just a fact. I'm just getting started. There's so much more that we need to do that we're going to look at later in the future. But these 20 days has taught me a whole lot. Okay, so let me just quickly go through some of the things that we covered, right? I talked about how to build a personalized meeting app that auto download your meeting with AI, right? I dedicated a week to talk about how to plan your career roadmap, and then I found out that I didn't want to spend too much time on that. Like every other story, I just want to do 10, 20, maximum 30 minutes and all. just get out of the purple space. But I found out that I have to dedicate a whole day to teaching on how to build a career roadmap with AI. We looked at the 70-20-10 principle, and then of course what that says is that 70 70% of what you're learning actually comes by doing. I learned this practically during the 20 days. And then 20% comes from learning from people, community, and all of those things. Then 10% only, your courses, the books only account for 10%. And people may argue with this. You really do not learn anything if you don't apply. The proof of learning is execution, and that's literally what I did throughout the 20 days. All right, we look at the 70-20 and we look at the SMART model, and then I bet an entire plot framework that literally can take people from whatever point they think they are. Maybe you're confused in your career, you don't know what to do. You have so many skills that you have learned. You don't even know what exactly to do. No matter how confused you are, this front framework will literally take you through everything that you need to do right from where you are, no matter how confused you are. So this is one of the things that I was able to do throughout the 20-day series, right? And let me see. I also looked at okay. Let me just let me share my screen so that you can see exactly what I'm saying. Okay. All right. I believe you can see my screen. So of course, this is currently live. This is what I'm currently doing. Ask me anything about AI. So I thought about how to deploy your brand identity with AI, how to develop your brand identity with AI. Right. This was day 19. How to set up an Instagram AI agent with ManyChat. I talked about this. How to build a professional website. This was a 1 hour teaching where I took the audience from how to start out building a website. We looked at different framework that you can use when it comes to building websites with AI. There is the interview or there's a brainstorming approach when you're building something more beyond the basics, right? And then we looked at it's something you want to explore, right? It's a 1 hour teaching that you really need if you are building anything with AI, website to be particular. All right. Then I talked about how to train AI to write in your brand voice, and then adding images to your Google AI Studio website correctly. How to develop your app to the internet in 5 minutes, step by step, no code. How to deploy your app on Google AI Studio. This was day one, and then this one day two, right? How to build a 247 customer service agent for your business with AI. I also talked about you know this was where we built websites live, right? This is another video on website, and then how to know exactly what to learn in your career part of the career series, right? And then this one is this part of the career series, and you can see that I have quite a number of videos on that particular series. Yeah. So how to build professional website and app in 2026. I talked about that. Zero to implementation. This was day four, and then this was day one. In all, it really has been an experience for me, and then I've learned quite a number of things that that will become my anchor point for the next phase of my growth and learning. And then tonight, I literally just want to listen to people talk about what they've been struggling with, and all of those things. Now, I would also like to say this, even as I bring the thing to an end. AI is not just a tool. AI is a technology. AI is not just a tool, AI is a technology. I've spoken with quite a number of people, and then one of the one of the concerns that they have about AI is the fact that When we talk about AI, where is really the human intelligence? Now, while I'm still in my learning phase, I'm still trying, to navigate my way around AI. And when I say navigate my way around AI, at least I spent, more than a year trying to learn up on AI, not the surface level, trying to learn how it works, literally at the back end, beyond just creating pictures, beyond just creating videos, beyond just generating brand visuals and all of those things. I've been able to dig deep, and I'm still currently digging deep because I want to get to a point whereby I can answer almost every questions that come my way. And I venture into AI not because of course I want to make some money, right? This is very essential. But I venture into AI not because the money was the goal. Right, I venture into it because I literally want to help people solve problems. I practice as a brand identity designer for 5 years, and then I know what it means for people to struggle with certain things. And we're in 2026 where the the limitation between your idea and your product, you know, has reduced. I know people don't like the idea of vibe coding. They talk about security, they talk about all of those things. But when we begin to look at the idea of vibe coding and the idea of building a professional website, if you are truly doing this professionally, right, if you are not staying at the surface level, there are things that there are applications. In fact, I don't want to quote data off my head now, but organizations like Google now, they are parts of some part of their systems are being implemented by AI. And when I say AI, some part of what they do, the code, right, is being written by AI. I don't want to give the wrong figure as such, today, but you can make your research. So the goal is not about maybe AI is dangerous or AI has come to, I know we're getting to, there is you know, hypothesis around AGI, ASI, and all of those things. But that is not even the conversation for the now. The conversation is that where exactly can AI help my business do better? The conversation is not maybe I need maybe AI will replace me, AI will replace human intelligence and all of those things. Now, I understand the fact that human beings can come to a point whereby they depend solely on AI to execute their, their tasks, and then when we begin to talk about cognitive, and I don't even want to say some things here, but literally beyond just considering the fact that whether AI will do this to human race or see, I personally have a belief that there are things that AI cannot do. No matter the proposition, no matter the hypothesis, I believe that AI cannot replace the human brain. Now, I'm a believer, I'm a Christian, and then the Bible says, no man knows the spirit of a man except the spirit of that man. I don't want to get it deeper more than this because I'm still trying to navigate, I'm still trying to see what is possible with AI. But I believe that there are things that cannot happen, no matter the advancement in the technology. It cannot happen. Yes, it cannot happen. So it's not really about maybe the thing is, whatever your organization is doing every day that requires your staff to be showing up every day, and then they have to be doing the same thing every day. It's what's it called right now? It's a signal that literally you need to deploy AI into your workflow. Do you write email every day? The same email sequence every day. That's a signal that AI should come in. Do you respond to customers every day answering the same question? That is a proof that AI needs to come into play. So beyond just human brain, all of this now. Let's forget about that first. Of course, we are gonna come there. Is one of my goals to really dig deep into this thing and then extract the truth, extract what is true, and extract what sounds like the truth. and then bring it before you. But for now, what we are really considering is that how can AI really help my business? How can we deploy AI within our organization that we have to, number one, cut costs, number two, reduce human error. Because whether we like it or not, in a certain part of the world, Nigeria, Africa, to be precise, there is a limitation of, there's just skill gap, of issues. We need this context. So beyond all of the proposition, all of the concerns that we have, let's keep this aside first and embrace the technology of AI. Women can develop emotions with AI. That's not no. If Don't let us talk about all of these things. But where I really want you to, to stand as an individual, as organization, is that where really can AI help us? What are we doing repetitively that AI can help us to? I'm currently building a full-fledged, Instagram chatbot for one of the biggest company in Nigeria that sells, fresh flowers. And then having worked, hundreds of hours on this thing, I discovered that there are a whole lot to even what the people are seeing. You know, Quite a number of products. We have to develop logic. We have to develop the flow. So when the customer gets to this point now, what are they likely to ask for? Okay, so when the customer service people are sleeping, right? What should happen? We get the logic. Okay, move from the logic. Now let's now connect the dots. What text text stack can we use? Okay, this is ManyChat. If you are using ManyChat, how can we now define that this thing should happen like this? So if it cannot happen in the ManyChat, okay, let's now bring in make.com. Okay, so now since we identified that make.com between this and okay, now let's now bring in Airtable. If Airtable is costly, let's now bring in Google Sheet. After all, Google Sheet is free. These are things that we talked about, we looked at, and then we are now building this framework that will answer the customer intelligently. And one of my focus is that I really want to, cut down the cost. So yes, I found out that Airtable actually works, right? But I found out that it just cost the organization. And then my assignment is that I have to cut down on Airtable, and then let's now use Google Sheet, which is free. Of course, we have to pay for make.com API because we really cannot do more than two scenarios. So these are the things that we need to start talking about, and then we now we shouldn't. I'm not saying that we shouldn't focus on issues that are concerning issues, all of this, but there are things that we do in 2026 that we should no longer do. That's the bottom line. Yes. So if you're considering, setting up system for your organization, you want to build a personalized app, you want to, set up automation for your brand. This is what I do literally. Let me just show you, a briefly what I can help organization do. Okay, so I build a solution that turns your idea into running, system, right? Now, maybe you have an idea, there's a confusion within your team. I turn both into working system that run without you babysitting them every day. Now the thing is, I don't just build the thinking and the system behind them. To me, it's all about thinking first. To me, it's all about thinking first, right? So I also say, some framework, that you can get and all of those things. Yeah, to ready to launch website. For instance, now if I open this for you now, you know, let's just move on. Now, of course, this is us. And what makes me who just does AI, I start with the thinking. I already said that. I start with the thinking. I build a system, not just the tool run without you. So before I touch any tool, I figure out what you are actually trying to do, what is confusing you, and what decision you are avoiding. Most AI freelancers skip this step. I don't. All right, system, not just the tool. Now, how I work on every project in just 3 steps. I understand, I design, then I build. Right now, these are specific things that I can build for you. You know, custom AI chatbot for your website, Instagram, or WhatsApp that actually answers like you would do. Right? Then I build AI content engines, AI system that turn one idea into 1 week of content, even 3 months, for 6 months of content posted without you. AI workflow automation. I connect your tools, to leads, email, invoices, and follow-ups happen automatically. Then custom GPT and prompt system. I build, a private AI assistant trained on your specific business voice and your specific workflow. And then I build AI powered websites and applications, right? And these are professional. Like what I'm showing you now, it was built with AI. Then I build system design and all of those things. Yeah. Now, of course, I work, in 3 levels. AI system setup, and this is for people that just started getting started with AI. If you don't know how AI, AI can help you, but you don't know where to start. I set up the basics, your workflow, your first front, your first automation, so you stop guessing and start, using AI with a plan, right? What is included, you know, your first AI workflow design around what you actually do every day. A prompt system, for thinking clearly and making better decision. Now the outcome, you stop experimenting randomly and start using AI with structure and Instagram DM on your website that respond like you would, an automated pipeline from content creation to distribution. So the outcome is that your content, engagement, and follow-up run themselves while you focus on the work. Then there's the third category, the full AI business system for founders and serious builders, right? And what is included is an AI chatbot powered website web app built and deployed for you. Full automation architecture connecting your two, um, end to end. Then business system design, how operation connect. Then the outcome is there is a complete AI powered business system you own, not a collective disconnected tools, right? These are the things I do. You think what is broken, we look at the we build a strategy around it, we build, then I hand over them to you. All right. So this is just what I do, behind the scene, right? And then I would love to collaborate with you. If you have a business, you run a personal brand, I would like to collaborate with you. And this is where I'm going to be drawing the curtain. Yeah, I'm going to be drawing the curtain for to I confidence with Adebayo Karim. It has taken a whole lot for me to show up, Monday to Friday for 5 weeks. And then it's really not been easy, but it was necessary. And this has what's it called? Has informed the next phase of my growth. And I really look forward to build with you. Make AI work for you. And then I will see you on the back end.